Hi, everyone. Welcome to Conversations with Nicole. Today, my guest is Lee Knight, founder of Created to Serve, a nonprofit organization in Timmonsville, South Carolina. Created to Serve is a community of volunteers who help those in need. Lee, thanks for being my guest today.
Thank you for having me, Nicole.
For those that may not know about this nonprofit, tell us about it and how it all began.
Well, it first began by making a Thanksgiving meal for one to two individuals in our town where we live, within a couple mile radius. And then a couple years later, it expanded into Florence County and then the surrounding counties.
You felt the calling to be involved in something where you are helping others. And initially it was under the name of Helping Hands. So folks may remember that, correct?
Yeah, there was a couple names close to that. So whenever we filed for 501c, the state wanted us to change the name. And with conversations with my wife, we are a group of volunteers and we're created to serve.
Perfect. It made perfect sense. So here you are serving others. Walk us through some of the things that you are doing now. It's really grown over the past couple of years.
Yes, it has. It started off with like I said, 3 meals. And last year, on the Thanksgiving meals itself, we did I think we supplied 2,700 meals. That was just on Thanksgiving, and we added our Christmas event, and that was right around 200 meals Christmas morning. And last year, we also were able to do, I think it was 3 or 4 wheelchair ramps through one of the other nonprofits in Florence, helping them.
Right. Talk about your heart, Lee. You're very humble. You're reluctant to want to what you see as bragging. It's not bragging because you are doing it all because you want to be the hands and feet of Jesus. Talk about your heart and your heart's desire with this ministry.
Well, it's always been since it got opened up to the, I guess, public, if you will, that I didn't want to. I don't want to seem like it's all me because it has nothing to do with me. I'm just an organizer. The Lord puts all of this in front of us. He puts the opportunities there. He puts the finances there. He puts all of the things that need to happen throughout the year in front of me, and I just kind of organize it. And that's the way I see myself as an organizer.
Talk about what it means to you when you are putting these events together and what it means to you when you see the impact of the lives you are changing.
Right. Well, there's people think that doing the meals, doing the wheelchair ramps, it's just, hey, I'll make a phone call and all these people show up, and it has nothing to do with that. I just sent an email 10 minutes ago requesting food for Thanksgiving this year for 2023. And there's a lot of behind the scenes organizing, if you will. But once you see the people, I guess where we got hooked initially is one of those very first meals that we did. The gentleman, his wife died, and he was by himself. And when we showed up with the meal, he just broke down crying because he didn't think anybody cared about him. So that's
Yes. Isn't that what it's all about? Letting people know that you love
absolutely.
them, you care about them. People just want to know someone cares. That's powerful.
That's right.
And when he wept, what went through your mind?
Well, first I had to leave because I didn't want to start crying myself. So, but no, it's just it's. I mean, it's just showing other people that they matter,
Yeah.
and then that's just what it boils down to. Is there everybody gets busy in their daily lives, and sometimes they don't even acknowledge that the person next to them, and it's also building unity in the community.
Yeah.
Is the way that I see it. So.
Do you find that once people see what you're doing, get involved, they are moved by the Spirit, literally, and want to be a part of Created to Serve and what you're doing?
Oh yeah, actually, I mean that's human nature. The first step is always the hardest, And but once people get involved, they really like I guess the feeling they get. They see the actual impact that it has, and they're hooked, so to speak.
The blessing is in the giving, isn't it?
Absolutely,
Always in the giving. And to see
yes.
the faces and the lives that you've changed through providing meals and through, the simplest thing of a wheelchair ramp. We can't even imagine how that makes a difference in someone's life.
No, the one of the wheelchair ramps we did last year. The gentleman had his legs were, I don't know exactly what was wrong with him, but he couldn't even get out the house to go to a doctor's appointment
Yeah.
because he didn't have any way to get out the house.
Yeah. So, I mean, that is life changing right there.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Talk about how people can help you to continue to help others.
Well, mostly it would be, finding volunteers, not necessarily for every project, but just to get on a list to say, hey, I'm willing to serve. And then, once there's an opportunity, an email or a phone call goes out just to say, hey, there's an opportunity. Are you able to help? And secondly is finances. Becoming 501c, I realize that it's easier for companies to donate. So that's been a blessing in itself right there. But there's always things that, nonprofits need, materials or food, or just even simply a prayer.
Yeah. Power of prayer.
Yes.
Did you ever think that this nonprofit, Your Heart's Desire, this ministry would be where it is today?
No, absolutely not. I was looking, I mean, honestly, I thought, I thought it was a big deal to do 5 meals for the people here, just in the general vicinity of where I live. So, and, we were at a Bible study, and some people showed some interest, and that's kind of where it blossomed.
And now you wouldn't change a thing except just to find out how to help more people, right?
Exactly, and that's the goal, is to reach more people, because each year, one to two more people will get involved that are actually in need. And there's also skepticism where people are saying, when you ask them if you want to provide meals to them in their neighbor or their community, they think that it's for a fee, and it's not for a fee. It's all supporter donations and things like that. So
Right. I was thinking when you go into these neighborhoods and you have people come out that get a warm meal, that see that someone actually cares about them, you have to hope that not only does the meal make them feel better that day, but something happens to change their life for the better too, correct?
oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so recently I don't necessarily I come in contact with a few of the people that actually receive the meals because I'm behind the scenes doing my thing. But I heard us one case, I guess, where it was a homeless family. They were living in one of the hotels in Florence,
Yeah.
night by night, and I think they had 3 or 4 kids, and the dad, just broke down crying when they showed up because he wasn't sure how he's going to feed his kids.
Right. Right.
And and that's what it's all about. Just like, again, just showing that a total stranger can care about somebody else, to give them something with nothing expected. And
Have you been surprised at the amount of need there is out there, of the amount of people who actually need a help, in their life?
yes, I didn't when I first started. I knew there was need, but I didn't realize there was this much. I do work with House of Hope some, and that's kind of how I got involved in the learning more about the need as far as the community and whatnot. And yes, there's thousands of people out there that
Yeah.
can use it in each one of the counties that we live in.
Right. 100%. So, what is the best way for people to reach you, people to learn more about Created to Serve?
The best way is to go on the Facebook page. It's got contact information, email. I do post whenever there's opportunities out there for ramps, for meals. We've got one coming up in sometime in the early late spring. So, and that's going to be in Lamar, where we're going to do a community feeding. So, planning on 500 to 600 people there.
Wow. Well, we will make all of that information available in the description. As we wrap up, Lee, what final thoughts do you have for folks watching today about Created to Serve?
Well, I would just say that, think about your normal lives and just realize that, there's people out there that have it much, much worse.
Yeah.
And that just the tiny bit of effort or whatever that you want to put into it is a benefit to someone else.
100%. Well said. Lee, thank you so much for being my guest today. I appreciate you being here.
Thank you, Nicole.
Absolutely. And that will do it for this edition of Conversations with Nicole. Until I see you again, I hope you have a great day.